Well, now that you're all in quarantine, um, I'm going to talk about what happens when someone barges into your house when you're in quarantine and rolls into your bed while you're in bed. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about unapproved. In other words, when you are, we're going to stop. I have got an invasion, an invasion of parasites. They are in, difficult to tell you because I've only told this story about 5 million times, but I live 24/7 with parasites. And, what would you do if you had parasites? Well, you'd go see a doctor. What if you've got parasites that are using extraterrestrial technology, very advanced, to get inside your body and your mind? I guess you have to learn to live with it, but it doesn't mean that that's right that they do what they do. And it doesn't mean we are going to keep telling them, I guess there's nothing I can do about it, so I'm going to live with you. It's always going to come down to, where are you going to get help? Where are you going to find the end of the line with bullies? Intergalactic bullies, human bullies. When does it end? Is it going to be never ending on planet Earth? When are these dark beings going to be fully exposed and brought to awareness? In other words, when are they going to come out so we can actually see them? Because I've been talking for a long time about these kind of parasites, and it still goes on. It still goes on. When are we going to see any kind of relief? I don't have relief. I've got full on demonic attack. Some people say, if you're a light worker, that we're working very hard on these dark energies, but these are dark entities. These are dark personalities. These are personalities that are never going to clean up. So, what are we going to do with these personalities? In the meantime, I keep coming back to the same old fact. If you're a dark archon, then you're always going to be a dark archon, and the only solution is deletion from existence. And time again, I come around to the fact that I don't know how to delete these kind of things from existence. I just have to put up with them day after day after day after day after day after day. What would you do if you've locked your door in your house and then a bunch of people barged in and set up shop inside your house? You wouldn't like it very much. You'd call the police. But what happens when these parasites move into your body and into your mind? What police are you going to call? That's the situation, because as we gather ourselves together and we tell our ghost stories, where do these ghost stories come from? They come from my real life, where I've got nasty demonic entities day after day who moved into my mind, into my body. They're so horrible. You don't ever, ever, ever know what it's going to be like until you have such an entity enter your life. And all the spiritual bullshit that is taught doesn't help a bit. None of it helps. Day after day after day, it's the same old routine. Parasites first thing in the morning attack you. Parasites in the afternoon, they ride around with you. They never leave. And at nighttime, they start attacking you again. What does it mean? It means I have to have more instincts. The general instinct is, if a mosquito starts biting you, what do? You take your hand and you kill it. But these parasites are not mosquitoes. They're never going to really like the fact that my goal is to make them dead. And how am I going to do that is basically the story of this channel, how you get rid of parasites. And the answer is not here yet. But I keep talking about it and I keep getting the words to talk about it. So it is something that keeps coming through me from some source field. And the source field keeps telling me, hold on, don't get involved too much with never ending parasites because you're not a parasite. You are being hit hard by demonic entities. And if you look at the history of the planet, this planet has had demonic entities constantly causing horrible nightmares for human beings. And in the end, these parasites expect well, they're going to resolve their evil and they're going to be welcomed into the open arms of people like me. And I'm going to keep telling them, fuck you. Fuck you. I am never going to welcome you into the arms of something, whatever it ends up being. In other words, I'm going to be standing at the gate of the fifth dimension and I'm going to be looking for parasites. Trolls, internet trolls are everywhere. They're people that are disgusting. They have no sense of anything other than causing trouble for other people. They're not interested in finding a truth. They're most likely interested in where's my paycheck for being a troll? What's going to happen with these evil ones? Some people say, well, the evil helps push everyone along. Without the evil, how are you going to get people to move into higher consciousness? That's a fair statement. Without any real need to change, what's going to make you change? So sometimes I have to come to the conclusion that this is never an easy subject because if I'm being pushed forward, I don't see where to go. I don't see how I am actually changing. And I'm looking at the mnemonics and saying, okay, well, is this part of their growth curve? I mean, they just endlessly bully people by extraterrestrial technology. And where are the people supposed to go with it? Pretty much every day I have to have a wasted day. I can't do anything because I'm under constant demonic attack. I can make some videos and talk, but then, once the video is over and I put it up on the internet, the demons come back. And what do they want? They just want to bother me. And then I start talking on the video and they get another video and they got a checklist. Oh, Bob made another video. Well, how many of you watch my videos? You look at my counts, very low. So it's not really for the benefit of the public, it's for the benefit of the fat controllers. Stuart Wilde, the metaphysical author, talked about these fat controllers in some of his stories and some of his books. What are they? They are beings who spend all of their effort derailing humans from having human lives. If you figure out how many people have hard times with mental problems, every mental problem in the book, in my opinion, is caused by demonic attack. It is not unbalanced chemicals. It is demonic attack that is attacking a lot of humans. All the diseases on the planet are all related to these dark beings. And when are we going to get rid of them? I don't know. But I keep talking about it day after day. And I guess it clues you in that there are still demonics here. And I see various people putting out their bullshit story that, oh, the light forces have cleaned the dark off this planet. And I go, fuck that shit. Where did you get this garbage? It's coming from the dark. The dark ones are putting out this information all of the time. All the same, I have to live with these demonic entities day to day. And, there's times when we're sort of on a peace treaty where we go about our business, but these ones have got deep underlying issues. They want to blame trauma. It ain't trauma, it's their pleasure to be dark and evil. Their pleasure comes by the fact that I can't defend against them. And they keep wanting me to talk about various subjects, and I keep saying, fuck off. Now, if you follow my blog, you will know some of the names. I've got one that's called King Clancy. He sounds like King Clancy. In other words, Clancy Wiggum from The Simpsons. In other words, he's got technology that records Clancy Wiggum off The Simpsons, and that is an app on his computer. And whenever he wants to talk, he runs it through an app, and I hear it as Clancy Wiggum. What does it mean? It means I have no defense against these high technology things. I'm a simple human being, and I can't figure out what to do about it. And in the end, they belittle me constantly, constantly, constantly. And you know what these bullies are like because you've experienced human bullies. So, what does it mean for humanity? It means that when the day of reckoning comes and we find out who these beasties are, someone is going to push my buttons and say, it's time for you to follow Jesus and forgive them. But I used to be an extra in the movies, and I used to work on Battlestar Galactica. And there's one episode where a nasty beastie human gets pushed out of an airlock to their death in cold space. It wasn't me that pushed them out of the airlock, and I wasn't the one pushed out of the airlock. But when the time comes and the day of reckoning arrives, I'm going to be the one pushing these nasty shit demons out the airlock into the cold of space to their death. So, if you're all about love and light, you have to take my story. Years of demonic attack. And you have to understand when the time comes, and if I do decide that I'm going to be the one that's going to push these out the door, maybe you're going to want to push me out the door. Because you're going to decide, if he can't forgive for all these demonic attacks, then he's dangerous or something to me. Because I've got darkness in me, and maybe he's going to start looking. That's not the kind of person I am. I realize all humans have had their failings. Everyone is not a pure angel. But that's not what we're dealing with when we're talking about demonic entities. Humans have the capacity to look at themselves and say, it's time for me to change, to mend my ways, to make myself a better person. Clancy says, well, maybe we all fall down. Clancy falls down 24 hours a day. Clancy pretends to be a friend, and then he goes back to his dark ways. He's got some other friends that are of the same type. And, after years of them playing this game, it's not like they're not educated on mending their ways. They know everything that you know, but they don't want to change. In the past, I've said it's like they hold to an instinct, but they're very intelligent. They play dumb quite often, but there's times when their intelligence comes across, and their intelligence tells me they choose every moment to be demonic to me. And then there's the people that say, you're playing the victim. And as long as you're a victim, there's going to be a perpetrator. It's that energy that's in you. And if you're that kind of person, I just pray that you never have to really explain to anybody why it is that you've been pushed out the airlock into the dark of space, because you have no empathy for people who are under demonic attack. And if you haven't walked a mile in their moccasins, you don't know what it's like. Interestingly, Clancy now says, now what I want you to say, Bob, is on the bright side. This is the way he works. He'll attack me until he gets me going, and then, like a typical narcissist, sociopath, psychopath is what these demons are. Pure psychopaths. They don't care for anybody. They all are on the same team, and that is gang stalking. So, in the end, I don't have anything else to tell you except to report that I was under demonic attack, severe demonic attack again today. So much so that I'm so fatigued I can barely function as a human being. So, if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and give them to me. But I pretty much talked till my voice comes to an end. Where is there a source field that can give us the information to remove extraterrestrial technologies that are being used to create disease in humans, that is giving some nasty gang stalking bullies the ability to come right into your house and right into your body and right into your mind to torture you? That is the truth. There is a solution, and we keep pursuing it. How do we pursue it? Moment to moment, we're still here. If you're having a tough time with your life, know that you're not the only one. I don't think it makes it easier, but know that there are lots of people that are just like you, and we have an intention, and our intention is to kill the dark. Some people say, well, with this various religious teachings, they're all part of us, and we're going to have to find some compromise where we allow them to have access to us as a unity. I heard people today say, people of Earth, focus on oneness of all of us. I got to remind you that all the people on Earth aren't necessarily all on the same boat. Some people's boat is going to hell while others is going to heaven. And who's steering the boat? These individuals. And, you can shout at them, hey, you're aimed at hell. Some of them might go, oh, I've got a navigation error going on here, thanks. Other ones are laughing at your face, and they're shooting at you with cannons and saying, we like hell. We don't want your heaven. We want to go to hell. We're happy in hell.